On the 31st of January 2026, Egham Museum invited its community on a journey back in time to 1780, when the glow of candlelight filled the air, music guided graceful steps, and society gathered not merely to dance, but to see and be seen. We drew inspiration from Egham's history to host a truly unique event for our community, a Georgian Ball in 2026. Late 18th century Egham was a prosperous coaching town, with several inns serving as resting points for horse-drawn coaches travelling between London and the southwest. One of these inns was the Red Lion, who, in 1778, opened purpose-built assembly rooms to provide space for entertainment. In the late 18th century, this essentially meant hosting balls for the local nobility and gentry to coincide with high society events such as the annual Egham races. The assembly rooms would go on to become the Literary Institute, now home to Egham Museum. Inspired by our building's history and the discovery of a copy of sheet music held in our museum collection called the 1780 Egham Assembly Minuet, we set about, for one night only, returning our building to its original purpose and hosting a ball. We worked with artists and local community groups to plan our Living History event, which was kindly funded by the Heritage Lottery Fund. Together, we co-curated an exhibition of art and poetry inspired by 18th century local history and planned the music, dances, poetry recitals, decor and games for the evening. It was important to us that our event was community driven and provided local individuals with a space to showcase their talents. It was also important to us that the event was a learning opportunity. As guests immersed themselves in a fashionable evening out in Egham 246 years ago, we encouraged them to engage with our exhibition to learn about the people who lived their lives outside of the tightly controlled polite society, those who wouldn't have attended a ball at all. Ahead of the ball, we even restored a Georgian-style doll's house that we had found in a local charity shop. We decorated the interiors to help demonstrate the living arrangements and decor of an 18th century home. The doll's house is now on display in Egham Museum. Following our welcome speech delivered by our curator, the Bath Minuet Company performed their specially choreographed dance to the Egham Assembly Minuet, which was played live by our musicians. The Egham Minuet was first published in 1780 in a book by T. Skillen. The book included minuets that were performed at balls both at court and in public assembly rooms. However, the composer is unknown. After their performance, Bath Minuet Company taught our attendees the steps to the Egham Minuet. With a few practices behind us, we all performed the dance together. Following our community performance of the Egham Minuet, we were treated to a series of other dances from the period, again performed by the Bath Minuet Company. This included Bushy Park, which was composed by Ignacio Sancho, an inspiring individual who was born into slavery and through his own determination went on to become a composer, writer and business owner. He passed away in 1780, the year of the Egham Minuet, and we wanted to include his composition as a tribute to him. Our dancing for the evening was finished off by us all learning how to dance the traditional closing dance of a country ball. The balls held at Egham were smaller than those held in larger cities, such as Bath and London. They were attended by the nobility and gentry who held property locally and had retired back to their country estates following the end of the London season. After a break for food, our guests watched a series of poetry recitals performed by members of the Egham Poetry Hub about local heritage and inspiring individuals from the period. We rounded off the evening by partaking in Georgian games, including whist, the card game, chess and dominoes. The evening came to an end with the closing remarks delivered by the Mayor of Runnymede, Councillor Margaret Harnden. She thanked everyone who'd been involved in making the evening a success, echoing the sentiments of the museum team.